to the National Youth Policy in 2019, it clearly describes youth as citizens between the ages of 15 to 29 years. It was appropriate in targeting beneficiaries of intervention programs for young persons rather than adults, masquerading as youth. Nigerian youths are tired of being addressed as leaders of a tomorrow they may never see. A growing perceptiveness of non-inclusiveness by the older generation in the country's affairs.
One of the major things that you find many governments in Africa trying to do is that they try to put a layer of darkness to the challenges. They don't want you to see the depth of the issues or the breadth of the issues. So we need more people that can open it up and say, because we can't solve it by hiding it.
Young people need to get into the government and then be able to push for issues that affect them, because you can't keep staying out and then thinking that things will work in for your own good. So you need to be able to prepare yourself.
On May the 31st, President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law. This was part of efforts to get young Nigerians to be more involved in politics. Data has shown over the years that Nigerian youths have an apathy towards participating in politics.
The first landmark victory recorded for youth advocacy was May 31st, 2018, when the president assented and signed the landmark constitutional amendment reducing the eligibility age for running for political office. Yaga Africa Initiative and youth CSOs around the country were at the fore, working relentlessly to make this a reality.
Yaga Africa is a civic organization that seeks to promote democracy across Africa. And our vision is a people-driven, democratic and governance Africa. And what we do is to enable societies and institutions advance democratic practice as well as governance and accountability.
Since its passage by the National Assembly, about 25 states representing more than 2/3 of the country adopted the bill at the end of March the following year.
How young people working with civil society amended the Nigerian Constitution for the first time, reducing the age to run for public office. A lot of people thought that this just happened in no time. No, it took us over a decade. But then what we did was to regroup, form alliances, reach out to people, and then consolidated on our effort. And it took us 2.5 years to run a very critical, conscious campaign.
There are several youth advocacy groups in Nigeria today. But what one might find baffling is how quick the internet has become a tool and rallying point. While the groups focus on different situations affecting youths, their overall goal remains that of development. An organization with a unique mandate is Youngsters Foundation, to avoid youths being manipulated and used for wanton violence during elections. A part of their initiative is the Vote Not Fight campaign. They encourage youth inclusion through constructive engagements, sensitization programs, and creative pacts with political candidates to ensure a peaceful process during elections. The federal government has initiated empowerment programs that covers areas of youth training, entrepreneurship, reorientation, and funding. But 2 issues can be identified with every program. 1, no certified testimonials from the beneficiaries, raising questions of the credibility of these programs. Secondly, only a minute fraction of youth have been affected by these schemes. A clear case is slightly above 5,000 Nigerian Youth Investment Fund applicants chosen from over 3 million applications. That's an unimaginable ratio, knowing the current statistics of unemployed youths stands at 13.9 million.
When data tells you that about 33% of Nigerian population are unemployed, now just suppose that with 60% of the population being young people. So what that is telling you is that millions of young people are unemployed.
Several youths have resolved to self-help positively. They've taken steps to improve on their careers, skills, and talent. The entertainment and recreation sector built from nothing, contributed 2.3% to Nigeria's GDP in 2016 from movies alone. This is a testament of the resilient spirit of the Nigerian youth. Now Nigeria consistently leads African countries in the production of pop culture and sports, notably world-renowned music and films, as well as in creative literature and arts. In 2020, the largest tech acquisition in our corporate history happened to a Nigerian startup for $200 million, which is an equivalent of 76 billion naira, by a company from Silicon Valley. This was the handiwork of two Nigerian tech CEOs who took it upon themselves to create a digital service. There are several inspiring stories like this across Nigeria, proof that the youth have immense talent and there is so much more they can achieve if they are allowed to thrive.
But what government ought to do is to create an enabling environment that will allow SMEs, startup businesses, private sector thrive. I know we have about 17 million, data say we have about 17 million SMEs nationwide, but how enabled and empowered are the SMEs, right? Because it is to the extent that the SMEs are enabled and empowered that they can employ more people and then, create that kind of value system. So the major tension, if you ask me, between young people and Nigeria is young people are not getting enough opportunity in terms of job. And that's, for me, is general and basic.
Not all youth who resolve to self-help engage their time positively. The internet is filled with stories of the negative impact of redundant youth, resulting in outcomes like crime and insecurity, drug abuse, cybercrime, oil bunkering, unemployment, cultism, moral decadence, and a growing pandemic, money ritual.
Ritual killing is blood money, right? It's just you kill somebody because you want money. So how many people in Nigeria kill people for money? In the people that control this country with their wealth and own everything that there is to own in this money, how many of them do not have to kill thousands of Nigerians every year to secure that wealth or their position?
A number of youth-oriented civil society organizations passionate about the mind state and well-being of these youngsters have stepped up to provide interventions and strengthen the capacity of these youths. Their objective, well spelled out, to increase the employability of Nigerian youth and to unlock their entrepreneurial potentials that will help them steer their minds in the right direction.
Presently, we have trained over 300 students, and we have over 100 that are self-employed, and we have over almost 100 too, I think about 80 thereabout, that are job employed. So we try to, our indicator for measurement of success is trying to get the people that complete the training, then people that are employed, whether it's wage employed or they're self-employed. So we use those to measure and track the impact of our skill training program.
Tired of the resolving situation in the country and in desperate need for an approach to governance worthy of the century they live in, the youth are now very vocal about their demands for change. In October 2020, the government saw firsthand the power of the youth on a united front as they shut down the economic activities of the state in peaceful protest, advocating the dissolution of a unit of the Nigerian police force, better police reforms, as well as justice for the victims. The protests fanned out like wildfire all over the country in a short time. One crucial lesson from the leaderless movement: to effect much needed change, there's a need for a stronger resolve and relentless advocacy.
If you look at pivotal moments in Nigeria's history, you will always find the work of a bunch of citizens who have said, we don't want this to happen. If you go back to 2009, there was Enough is Enough Nigeria. You come to Occupy Nigeria of 2012, and again, it was young people and older people saying, we cannot have a country in which we are woken up on the 1st of January with an increase in fuel prices without any consultation. Occupy Nigeria. Go back to 2008, and there was Light Up Nigeria, started by Amar Rampa. Come up to 2016, Not Too Young to Run. Again, citizens saying, We need to expand the pool of candidacy for young people to be able to hold office, because the numbers support it. We have the highest voting bloc within young people. We have the highest population demographic, again, being young people. So why aren't young people being able to lead? 2020, we also had EndSARS. Again, citizens pressuring government to protect them and ensure that, security operatives don't act mad, essentially. So at every point in our democracy, you will see just the hand, you will see the work, you will see the sweat, you will see the blood of people working within civil society.
When we talk about the Sex for Great challenge, we have a young lady who's set up an NGO and set up a mobile app that enables students to be able to, log in reports when, they have issue with a lecturer that is demanding sex for grade. Now, this has been a long age issue that nobody's been able to do anything about, but now we're seeing young people begin to take on these issues and create solutions trying to address them. And so if you ask me, youth-led organizations are doing quite a lot. You go to the wash sector, youth-led organizations are going into community.
Presently, Nigerian youths are severely hampered by several circumstances despite Nigeria's strategic position in Africa, and are unable to attain full potentials like their counterparts around the world. The systemic marginalization of young people in national planning is primarily manifested in the current political environment. With civil society organizations, young people now have an opportunity to constructively engage government, speak truth to power, and improve their situation. CSOs remain a progressive channel for youth to inspire change.